Alright, so teleport to the Sun Temple. What? Boom. Did it work? Oh. Whoa. Well, that's kind of impressive. Wow. That's impressive. Alright, I need to sleep or eat something. Let me eat something. Roasted venison, cider. Let's have a pumpkin.
Move along.
Hey, I've got business with the Master Chief or whatever his name is. The head mage person. Wherever he is. Where is he? Oh, he's over here, isn't he?
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
My journal says I do. Hey, wake up.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Lashari performed the ritual on me. There were problems in Old Rashengard.
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything.
Wow, she's
Good
fast.
work, even though part of her report seemed to be a bit... enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthael. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
Really? Tell me again, who exactly is this Aranthael?
Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grand Master of the Order.
Oh,
Tealor
right.
Aranthael, son of Lorius I, praised be his name. An old legend, risen from the dead, or something like that.
What? Risen from the dead? Fine, where can I find him?
In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Just tell the guard that Aranthael has asked for you, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies?
What? Give me the book plus 2 learning points. Take the treasure map. That map looks good. Take a pouch with 150 pennies. I'll go with the coin. See, map sounds good, because pennies I can always... I think there's ways for me to get pennies. Learning points, I'm not hurting on learning points. Treasure map, that's knowledge, and that's pretty powerful. So I'll take the treasure map.
Very well. Now get a move on. I'm
Maybe
sure
I'll
we'll talk again
treasure map
later.
added to the inventory. Completed. So what does the treasure map do exactly? Does it give me more locations? Treasure map. Oh. Okay, so something's there. Temp something arc. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Maybe something really valuable. More valuable than 150 coins or 2 learning points is what I'm thinking. Maybe put in the effort. Possibly. Or equally. Whatever the case may be. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the Great Archon or Grand Master, Grand Mage of the Holy Order or whatever you call it. Maybe I can put in some things in here in the secure chest that I don't particularly need at this moment. Like, well, ooh, City Guard Shield. Look at all this stuff that I can... I'll put these tomes in here for now. I may use them later. Hieros Memorial Book. Put some of these soul gems in there. Because I'm actually starting to fill up my inventory.
There you are. Magister Chorus is the look.
Cars? Why's that?
I don't know, but I think it's about the tome he wanted you to transcribe.
Ah, I thought... Well, never mind. By the way, have you seen this new Neremes mage woman? Pegast, or whatever her name was.
I've heard about her, yes. She's the Scarab, isn't she?
Yes, that's what she looks like at least. But she's from Austria, just like that Messier Firespark and the Coalman Skyrim. Honestly, I don't know what to think of all of this. Wild mages here in the temple? Malphus bless the Grandmaster, but... where's this supposed to lead us?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But don't worry so much. I'm certain the Grandmaster knows what he's doing. Now go, before the Magister comes to get you himself.
Yes, of course. Walk blessed, sister.
You're always so formal.
Ooh. They're totally dating. They're totally making out.
Magister Cars is the nickel.
Isn't that what you just said? They like each other so much they decided they really want to talk to each other about the exact same thing a second time. The Sun Temple Emporium. I am going to wake up the Grand Master himself from his slumber. Because that's how we roll. Oh yeah. I demand your attention right now, Grandmaster.
Who are you?
I am going to talk to your Grandmaster.
And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries.
I guess he's not a mage, really.
This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
Dreams, you say?
The threat is real.
The
Deny
threat
it
is
as
real.
much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Tealor, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tealor, back then in Kira, and we
Natara,
all know
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
you have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting.
I wouldn't call myself a prodigy.
I am Tealor Aranthael, son of Lorius I and Grand Master of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name?
Angelus, you wanted to see me, sir?
Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable.
You're talking about the Red Madness, aren't you?
Among other things, yes.
Among other things? What else is
I
there?
do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I.
The visions. So you know where they come from?
I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Tealor Aranthael.
Really?
He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom. So he strived to overthrow them.
I'm talking your
He found
Grandmaster.
followers, formed an army and declared war on them. And thus, on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Tealor won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me.
If Tealor was your son, why did he hate the gods so much? Shouldn't he have been, I don't know, devoted to them?
There were circumstances favoring the development. But it's a long story, which we won't discuss now.
I love the quality of the voice actor in this one, for this guy. Tealor Aranthael. I'm really starting to like him a lot. So the Lightborn are really dead. If you, the Order of the Gods, acknowledge that fact, why do people not know about it?
Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good. Even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind.
But you managed to free yourself.
Yes, after more than 30 years.
Wow.
When the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time. The dreams.
Where are we going? Okay. We're taking a short walk with me, just me and the Grandmaster. Just me. And how dare that servant ask me who I am? Like, who am I? Who am I? Obviously more important than you because I'm talking to the Grandmaster. Okay, I'm just kidding. Angelus is not that pompous at all.
The same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
An acolyte of your son? But weren't they your enemies then?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory.
Really? A shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from a... what? A common mind?
A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans.
Thus the excavations, like in old Rashengrad. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands.
This sounds like the plot to Mass Effect.
Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence,
what?
They simply disappear.
This totally is Reapers! Reapers!
And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies
Oh
there.
my gosh, it's the Reapers!
We are
Guys!
part of an eternal loop, a cycle.
Oh jeez.
And our cycle is approaching.
This really
end.
does feel like a BioWare game. This totally does feel like a BioWare game. Hundreds of prophets have predicted the end of the world, and it never happened.
I see why you would say that. and I've felt the same way for a very long time too. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vind was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The two castes of the Sun Priest. They too ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
The Cleansing. I love how they're talking about the previous major civilization that fell before us, the Pyreans. I love how it sounds a lot like Protheans. Again, for those of you who played Mass Effect, that's kind of, wow. Is coincidence? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna call the Pyreans the Protheans from now on. I'm so tempted. How in blazes can an entire civilization just disappear?
That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague.
That's weird.
Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died.
Wow.
It is ghastly.
That is ghastly. The Pyreans knew about the threat. Why did they try to do something about it?
They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak.
And where do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from?
Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Really? Characters recur?
Yes. The Pyreans call them the Emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you.
Wow.
While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet.
What? Oh, I'm supposed to be a prophet?
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
Really now? And why me of all people?
I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story. And even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change.
Okay.
So maybe everyone can become an emissary. We simply have not understood the pattern yet.
And I take it this is the reason the Naramese mages aren't here, isn't it? Firespark, Pagast, Skyrim. The reason the Naramese mages are here, isn't it?
Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself.
If I play a role, does that mean that something is controlling me? Controlling us?
No. As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice.
I see. Sounds a lot like bits of pieces of the Dragon Age Resurgent campaign too. Did they borrow from me? Most likely not. And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed.
Interesting.
I assume you have already realized this.
True.
On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
Into the past and therefore into the future? What do you mean? I think he means because history's been repeating itself. So if I can look into the past and see what happened before, that should predict what'll happen in the future, because it keeps repeating itself.
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events,
right,
it is a window into the future as well.
Pretty much what I said.
You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
Wow, no pressure now. Why do you think that we can overcome this cycle in the first place, after hundreds of civilizations have failed?
That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die?
You have a very good point. He wouldn't say this, he wouldn't say this, he wouldn't say that either. Alright, if I can help, I will try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. A trial.
Oh, great. Okay. Join your order. Is this really necessary?
It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources.
Okay.
There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Neremese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you.
Is this going to require me to drink the blood of my enemies? Is this like the joining, by any chance? What kind of test?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too.
Okay.
At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
Okay. You've already informed them. How could you know that I'd agree?
I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that.
Right, my role. Who are the 2 novices?
I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself.
Very well, where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Barter, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders.
Okay.
Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic.
Okay.
After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
This is a pretty interesting storyline. Again, I see so much similarities between this and the Mass Effect games. Meet Signet leader Jorek, Barter, and 2 mobs at the Heartland's border. Wow, there's a lot going on. Thank you.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
Walk blessed, Prophet.
You were in prison for a very long time, weren't you? 30 years?
Yes. Why do you ask?
I can't imagine 30 years of imprisonment didn't leave any scars?
They did. What are you getting at?
Oh, sorry. Nothing. You want me to trust in your leadership. It's only fair that I learn more about you as a person.
A fair point. But in the future, just be upfront. I do not like such veiled remarks.
Oh, sorry, sir.
So, yes, my time in the prison was harsh. The hunger, the degradation, to name the most obvious. The worst, however, was the isolation. Ironically enough, that was the last thing I had expected, you know. From all the suffering there is, it seems so banal. But it isn't. You either find ways to cope with it, or it breaks you. Fortunately, I managed to do the former.
Right.
For me, it was memories of the time before my incarceration, the prospect of what would come after it. They were my window into the outer world, so to speak. They reminded me that I was more than this deprived creature I had become in those dungeons.
Figures. How did it feel to be free again?
Strange. Everything seemed too bright, too unreal. I especially felt that in the cloister with Narazul's mages. I had difficulty talking to other people, and whenever I did, it felt as if the others were like wax figures. Like some cruel joke put in front of my eyes in order to mock me.
I love how the Grand Master's looking up. He's looking up at me. And what's it like now?
Better. Our mission, my responsibility here as a leader, it has helped me to find my way back into the real world.
Actually, I'm surprised you went straight back to the Order after all that has happened. There's a lot of responsibility to take on after such trauma. That's a lot of responsibility to take on after such trauma.
What would have been the alternative? A life as a fisherman? If the things I had to live through taught me one thing, then it was how important it is for me to be right here, right now, doing what I do. In fact, this is precisely what is missing in the world. People who do not let the whims of fate break their resolve. Now, enough of this. We have business to attend to.
About the cycle.
Yes.
Could you tell me more about us emissaries? What defines us?
That depends on whom you ask. In some writings of the Pyreans,
The
we are
Protheans.
referred to as chosen ones. But this is wrong. A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task. But fulfilling that task is our own responsibility.
And you have no idea as to why we were chosen?
No.
And what exactly are these tasks we have?
Well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. It is my task to lead mankind in its battle against the cleansing. To rally our strengths, so to speak.
So you're David Anderson.
Yours is to read the echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. How exactly you're going to do that is something we still have to find out.
Apart from us, are there other emissaries?
I do not know, but there are hints. We will see.
The cycle. Do you have any idea how long it has been going on?
Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this world exists, since the sea of eventualities exists, so too then does the cycle. It seems to be a part of existence, so to speak.
What, and no one has ever succeeded in breaking the pattern? That's discouraging.
The Pyreans didn't, and neither did the dozen civilizations that came before them. That is what we know. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that matters for now is that the cycle threatens us, and that we have to stop it.
Why do I feel like we need to find, like, a special package disk or a disk of instructions and data from Liara to Sony? Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can start up these trials. And yes, I'm actually dressed in, Guard Bard, because, their stats are a lot better than what I had before.
Yes.
Grandmaster Aranthael sent me. I'm supposed to take a trial to become a keeper.
Oh, yes. You're the prodigy. I was expecting something else. I hope you're
Excuse me?
aware of what you're getting yourself into.
Not at
Our
all.
novices trained for years for this trial. And as much as I respect the Grand Master, I think this is naive. In other words, it will be dangerous. Be aware of that.
Yeah, well, the plot demands it, sir.